And this comes from Buckets, actually, Buckets 81. How do I report profit on Craigslist? Okay, that's a great idea. The first thing you need to do is you need to report that to me so I know how to do it, because I don't seem to make a profit on Craigslist. So if you can do that first, then we can get to the next thing. The key now is if you have profit on Craigslist and you are kind of approaching that as a small business, which I encourage you to do, you indeed have a retail small business. So what you do is report the income and expenses related to this sales, retail, wholesale, however you want to classify it, on a Schedule C. So Schedule C, profit or loss for business. So the way you would calculate it, the total gross receipts you have on the products that you've sold on Craigslist would be your gross income. Just like any other big company, that's your sales. Now the cost is going to be a little bit more difficult because you may be selling stuff that you've had for a while. Maybe you sell stuff that you've already bought on Craigslist, which is now really cool. Buckets, if you can tell me how to do that, buy stuff on Craigslist and then sell it for more, that's really cool. But if you've bought it on Craigslist or another service, the cost that you have in that product is what you paid for it. So that works perfectly. That cost also goes right on Schedule C under cost of goods sold. The net of those two is your gross margin. That's the net that you have made on selling those products. If you've had these products for a long time, it's stuff that you're selling out of your garage, that's a little more difficult because it may be hard to determine what your actual cost was. But the key is you do need to determine what your ultimate cost, your original cost was in those products that you're sold. Now don't forget, it's not just those two. Now we just calculated a gross margin, but you may have other expenses that you've incurred related to those sales. Don't forget about those. Those are easily missed. Most likely, Buckets, you actually sell the product and then you have to ship it to somebody, right? Now you may add the shipping into the price or you may not. But if you spend 10 bucks to ship something UPS out to your customer, that UPS shipment is deductible. So make sure you remember that in determining those expenses, because it's easy to get stuck in just using that gross margin. Okay, so go from there. Make sure you include all those expenses, and remember again, if you've been tuning in for a while, if you end up with more than $400, you need to include a Schedule SE as well. That's the schedule for self-employment tax. So don't forget about that. And again, Buckets, don't forget that you need to tell me how to make money on Craigslist, because I really need to figure out how to do that.